I was having your boy Rico from Street Scores You, man, and I think it's time, man. I told y'all that I'm about to get to work on some content that's not just film sessions, and what better way to start it than to talk about our boy, our Georgia Bulldog, now currently Philadelphia Eagle, defensive tackle Jalen Carter, being on pace for a legendary rookie season, arguably one of the best rookie seasons in NFL history. We're going to take a look at a lot of advanced stats, a lot of different grades, of course, from like Pro Football Focus and stuff like that, but most notably the stats. We're going to compare them to a lot of great players currently and in previous times, and great players from NFL history and things like that. I'm also going to play every single one of his snaps, and that TV that you see next to me, every single one of his snaps from that last game he just had against the Buccaneers from last week. I'm gonna have that playing the whole time while we're talking, so you have something to look at, and then also just listen to me. We're gonna break down some really interesting things and how Jalen Carter is contributing to a dominant Eagles team, but also what he's doing as an individual, and why looking like a future Hall of Famer to me. But before we dive into all that, make sure you stiff arm that like button, stiff arm the subscription button, and stiff arm the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Like I said, I'm trying to expand on the content, not only do film sessions, but speaking of film sessions, I'm about to get back to those. We still have some more 2024 players we need to get to, and I'm also really excited about a lot of these 2025 recruiting class guys that we should start getting to, especially some of the guys that are interested in Georgia, that Georgia's interested in, so stay tuned for all of that. And of course, if you want to support the channel, make sure you donate to the CashApp $RicoScores or the PayPal WilliamHC94@gmail.com. If you really love what I got going on, make sure you support the channel that way. Really appreciate it. And without further ado, man, let's get to it. Let's get it. All right, so first of all, Jalen Carter is a part of the NFL's best run defense. And even though he's technically not like a full-blown starter snap-wise, this man is a strong part of that. Because not only is he getting to the quarterback like crazy, but also getting tackles for losses, making plays in the run game. That forced fumble he had against the Buccaneers was crazy. Hey, man. But before we dive into Jalen Carter individually, I do just want to talk about the fact that the Eagles' run defense is dominant. I just wanted to start with the fact, I wanted to preface the fact that Jalen Carter is a part of this run defense. Because right now, the Eagles are holding their opponents to just 48.3 rushing yards per game. That's absolutely ridiculous. Rachaad White has been the most successful running back against the Eagles with just 38 yards on Monday Night Football. And it wasn't really great for him because 14 carries, he only averaged 2.7 yards per carry. That's not great either. The fact that that's the best anybody's done against the Eagles so far is insane, bro. That Eagles run defense is incredible. Not only are they one of the best rushing offenses in the NFL, arguably the best, even though they technically rank second statistically right now, they have definitively the best run defense in the NFL. And their linebackers aren't even that great yet. Like, I think Nakobe Dean will mature and get better. I think Nolan Smith's only going to get better, especially like off-ball linebacker wise. I think he has a lot of room to grow there to become a really impactful guy at that level. But right now, from what I'm seeing, the little bit I've watched the Eagles, most of his plays he's been making from the edge, rushing the passer and things like that. But either way, my main point is, it's not like they just have this dominant linebacker group. This front seven is dominating against the run because of this defensive line. And they have a lot of great defensive linemen, but Jalen Carter is arguably already one of the best ones. I mean, check this out. The Eagles' defensive front was already good in 2022, leading the unit that paced the league with 70 sacks. But then the team added Georgia defensive tackle Jalen Carter, regarded as one of the most talented prospects in college football. He was the best player in the draft. I don't care what y'all say. Late in the first round. And so far, he has elevated the group to an even higher level. And that's just ridiculous that the Eagles even got his hands on him. I mean, as a Commanders fan, it's very bittersweet because I'm happy to see him join all of his other Georgia Bulldogs. But to have to go against him twice a season, we're about to go against him this Sunday. It's not very fun. I'm not looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? To have to root against so many many Georgia Bulldogs and Keely Ringo, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, even DeAndre Swift. Like, it's hard as a Commanders fan, I'm not gonna lie. But at the end of the day, man, it's ridiculous that the Eagles were in the Super Bowl and somehow found a way to draft, in my opinion, the best player in the draft. That's incredible. Now, granted, they got him with the pick that they got from trading with the Saints in the 2022 draft, or right before it or whatever, but it was the 2022 draft where that trade took place, and then it affected the 2023 draft. So they got that pick technically from the Saints, not the pick that they earned from going to the Super Bowl technically. It's not like they got Jalen Carter with the 31st pick, but still, to go to the Super Bowl and then draft Jalen Carter in the next upcoming draft is absolutely insane. It's ridiculous, but it hasn't taken long for Carter, who leads the Eagles alongside Josh Sweat and Jordan Davis, 1.5 sacks. And you hear that? 3 players are tied for the most sacks on the Eagles right now. 2 of them are Georgia Bulldogs, and Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter with 1.5 sacks each right now. It's absolutely ridiculous, bro. We're gonna really dive into a lot of these stats, man. It's crazy because he had a season low 45% of defensive snaps against the Buccaneers. That's crazy. Like I say, he's not really getting starter level snaps. Now, that's the lowest percentage, but it's not like he's been killing it and playing the majority of games like that, even before that game. But for some reason against the Buccaneers, they decided to play him the least they've played him so far this season, even though he already wasn't getting played much. Technically, he's already played less than 50% of the defensive snaps available for the Eagles this entire season. He's literally not played more than he's actually played, and he's still putting up ridiculous numbers. First of all, against the Buccaneers, he finished the game with like 5 pressures, half a sack, 1 QB hit, a forced fumble. That forced fumble was crazy, and 2 tackles, man. Now let's get to the fun stuff. Right now, Jalen Carter currently has the most pressures, 15, of any defensive tackle in the NFL. We're not talking rookie defensive tackles. We're talking about the entire NFL, including all of the greats, Jalen Carter, my Commanders, Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne. Jalen Carter leads all defensive tackles, interior defensive linemen in the NFL with 15 pressures right now. He also has the most hurries, 12 out of any defensive tackle, and that's the 3rd most out of any defensive player, period, in the NFL. Again, we're not just comparing him to the rookies, and now we're not even comparing him to just interior defensive linemen, defensive tackles. He has the 3rd most QB hurries out of the entire NFL, regardless of position, regardless of veteran, rookie, whatever. He's also tied for the most forced fumbles out of any defender in the entire league with 2. Again, he got 1 against the Buccaneers. And his pass rush win rate of 21.9% through 76 pass rushing snaps. He hasn't even played a lot. It's not even like, first of all, he's a rookie. He's only had 76 pass rushing snaps to his name so far out of his entire career. And the fact that he's been this efficient and dominant is incredible. Because typically guys take a little while, like maybe the first few weeks, to finally figure out what's going on and stuff like that. And the fact that he's already this great immediately, not just period, but immediately to start his NFL career, he's only going to get better. Unless like teams start to just focus on stopping him and just letting Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, and all of those guys, Hassan Reddick, just go crazy. Yeah, just have at it. Just have a free run to our quarterback. You can't do that. So Jalen Carter is going to get single teamed a lot because he's on a really good defensive line. So first of all, his 93.2 Pro Football Focus grade is #1 amongst all interior defenders and is 3rd amongst all defenders in the NFL. Again, so comparing them to whether it's a rookie, a veteran, an interior defensive lineman, an edge rusher, a linebacker, a cornerback, a safety, he has the 3rd highest Pro Football Focus grade out of all defensive players in the entire NFL with a 93.2. And you know Pro Football Focus be stingy. That's crazy. So right now, out of just interior defenders through the first 3 weeks, at least a minimum of 49 snaps, Jalen Carter's, of course, the highest rated one with 93.2. Chris Jones is 2nd with a 92.6. Dexter Lawrence of the Giants has a 91. Javon Hargrave, ex-Eagle, who went to the 49ers, 90.6. Aaron Donald for the Rams, 90.4. David Onyemata for the Falcons, 89.6. And then another Georgia Bulldog, Jordan Davis with an 88.7. So out of the top 7 interior defensive players out of the entire NFL, according to Pro Football Focus, the Georgia Bulldogs have 2 of them, one being only in his sophomore season and the other one in his rookie season. Come on now. I mean, he's up there all these guys are up there with Aaron Donald or better than Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, all of these guys. Come on now. Stop playing with Georgia, man. We got to stop playing with Georgia. I'm sick of it. Also, through 3 weeks, Jalen Carter leads all qualifying NFL defensive tackles with a pressure percentage of 21.1% on 76 pass rush snaps. The second highest on the list is Chris Jones with a 20.5%, who has just 39 pass rush snaps. So maybe if Chris Jones played longer, that data would skew a little bit further away, and Jalen Carter would even have a better lead for number one out of the entire NFL in that statistic as well. Also, Jalen Carter finished with a team high 5 pressures on 16 pass rushers in that Eagles victory over the Buccaneers, which is where you're seeing the highlights from. A 31.3 pressure rate. Ridiculous. Through the first 3 weeks, the rookie is tied for second among all defensive tackles in total pressures with 15. When you're looking at defensive pressure leaders, Javon Hargrave, ex-Eagles, number 1. Then you have Jalen Carter and Ed Oliver of the Buffalo Bills tied for second with 15. My boy Jonathan Allen, 4th with 14. And Quillian Williams of the Jets, 5th with 13. Either he's the best or he's one of the best in every statistic that matters for a defensive lineman. First of all, even just to compare him directly to Aaron Donald, through 158 snaps, he has 14 pressures this season. Jalen Carter has 89 snaps, almost half of that. Just barely or more than half of that. 15 pressures, one more pressure than Aaron Donald with almost half the snaps, almost like a little bit over half the snaps. That's incredible in itself. Also, to compare some more greats, let's back it up. Even before that Buccaneers game, which you could argue was his best game so far this season, again, he's only getting better and better and better. Based on the trajectory, this man's about to be a Hall of Famer by the end of his rookie season. But either way, man, before he even had that game against the Buccaneers, after 2 weeks, he had more pressures than Nick Bosa with 11, Myles Garrett, and Aaron Donald. He had more QB hurries with 10 than Quinnen Williams, Micah Parsons, and TJ Watt. He had a higher pass rush win rate, 19.3, than Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and Kenny Clark. And again, this is before he had his best game, in my opinion, of the season so far, week 3 against the Buccaneers, which again is what you're seeing in that TV at the bottom right. And then also, former Rams and Eagles coach Dick Vermeil says the Philadelphia Eagles' Jalen Carter reminds him a lot of the great Reggie White, arguably one of the best defensive players to ever play the game. Man, I'm telling y'all, and at this point, dog, forget defensive rookie of the year. That's on lock. That's completely on lock. We ain't even worried about that no more. We go ahead and crown him now. We're talking defensive player of the year right now, what he's competing for. He may not get it, but he's definitely up there, bro. If he keeps going, first of all, if we just play him more often, I mean, he doesn't play much at all. Again, 46% of the snaps against the Buccaneers and still balled out and was their most impactful defensive player. If we start to play him more often, how dominant he's going to be. So again, defensive rookie of the year on lock. We're competing for defensive player of the year right now. And I think he has an honest chance if they play him more. Also, I know some people, especially non-Georgia Bulldog fans, especially non-Eagles fans. I'm a Commanders fan, but I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. But if you're not a Georgia Bulldog fan or Eagles fan, some people may watch this and be like, well, yeah, he's balling out, but he's in a 17-game season league era type of thing. So, and rather than like 16 games a year, he has 17. So by the time the season ends, of course his stats look better than Aaron Donald's rookie season and stuff like that. But no, what makes him different is the fact that a lot of those statistics I just gave you are also on a per snap basis. We're talking percentages. We're talking win rates. We're talking per things. We're talking like on a per snap basis. We're not talking about overall. So it doesn't matter if he plays 14 games, 16 games, 17 games, 8 games, or whatever. On like, as far as being efficient, he's arguably the most efficient defensive lineman in the NFL already as a rookie. Stop playing with him. And again, we're only 3 games in and he's only getting better. He's coming off of his best game so far in week 3. So again, based on that trajectory, I'm just going to assume that he's just going to keep getting better and better. Hopefully they play him more. He's going to be a super dog at the NFL level, man. I'm so excited. First of all, he's going to help our recruiting. Now look at what Jalen Carter's doing. Look at what Jordan Davis is doing. Look what all these guys are doing, man. All these defensive linemen that came from Georgia. So now that we have like the Joseph Jonah Ajayi's and my boy Jordan Hall and all of these guys, man, it's only going to get better and better. I'm pretty sure Michael Williams is going to go to that next level ball out. I still believe in Marvin Wilson. I think Damon Wilson is going to go crazy. Hey, man, I'm telling y'all, it's only up from here. Back-to-back championships. Let's make it 3, and let's just keep adding to it. Let's go get 8 in a row. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go get 8 in a row. But yeah, man, Jalen Carter, keep doing your thing, man. That's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about everything discussed in this video. Do you agree with me with the fact that Jalen Carter is a serious problem for the NFL right now? Especially my Commanders, again, who got to play him twice a year. Sucks, man. Also, please leave a like on this video if you liked it. If you learned anything, stiff arm that like button, stiff arm the subscription button, stiff arm the bell next to that subscription button so you can stay notified every time I'm releasing videos like these, and I'm getting back to the film sessions constantly as well. And again, if you want to support the channel, make sure you donate to the RicoScores Cash App. That's $RicoScores. And also make sure you donate to the WilliamHC94 at gmail.com PayPal. All of that information will be in the link in the description and all of my videos and stuff like that from now on. So, man, I really appreciate y'all. If you want to support the channel, if you want more videos like these, just let me know. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to catch y'all later. I'm out.